one of the things that we need to talk about when painting clouds is value. And value ties right in with contrast. So what we're going to look at here is the relationship between light and dark in the sky. We've talked about the shape. We've talked about light coming from the sun. We've talked about perspective. But now we have to talk about the relationships between light and dark and what this does to our cloud formations. Now, when we think of contrast, we think of dark against light. And we know that all the dark in the clouds comes from shadow. That means that it's the part of the cloud that is not receiving direct light. All the highlight edges of the cloud come from the section of the cloud that is nearest to the light. But sometimes we have an interesting occurrence in the sky that can add a lot of interest to our composition. Let's take a look at this sunset. Here we see light clouds in the distance, but we also see some very dark, dramatic clouds. Now, these are not billowing, fluffy clouds like we would see in this exercise, but what we would see here is the drama that is created from this heavy, dark cloud. The contrast that we want to establish is the relationship between the background of what the cloud sits on, which is the sky area, and the cloud itself. So the contrast is formed between these two areas. Overall, if we had to describe this particular cloud, we would say that this cloud is a dark cloud compared to or contrasting with the background area. Notice that everything around this cloud is relatively light compared to this dark cloud. Now let's take a look at the reverse. Everything around this cloud here in this large cloud mass is a little smaller cloud or smaller grouping of clouds that is light in contrast to what it's sitting on. So the background area behind this cloud, even though it's another cloud, is contrasting this light one. Let's take a close-up of this little cloud, which is right here. So you see, this is actually a beautiful cloud. Look at the upturns here. You can see the wind has moved the edge of the cloud up into a perfect curl and has diffused all the upper edges of the cloud. But let's look at the contrast between this cloud and the background that it's sitting on. Darker background, and the light cloud is on top of it, drawing a lot of attention. Compare the two now. Here you have, I'll just move that so you can see, here you have a light cloud against a dark background. And here you have a dark cloud against a light background. So don't always believe that clouds are painted with white paint and are lighter in value against the sky. The reverse is quite obvious.